What's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Amara La Negra. Welcome to my show. I am so excited for you guys to be on right now listening to Exactly Amara, a production of iHeart. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Season 1 was lit. The best season ever. I am so grateful to all my listeners for helping me get to season number 2. Can you believe it? We are back, baby. We're back with more craziness, más locura. Vamos a hablar un poquito de todo. Always honest, real, unapologetically Amara. And by the way, don't forget to give us 5 stars, of course. Subscribe to the podcast. Today, we will be talking about my last couple of months of season 1, leading to the birth of my daughters. Things have changed so much since the last time I spoke to you guys. I don't want to do this by myself, okay? First of all, my producers are lit. They're cool as hell. And they always help me come up with the dopest ideas, with the coolest ideas. And we have such great chemistry. So we got today Arlene and... Wait, don't tell me. Wait, what is his name? Do you guys remember last season?
Big Sexy.
Oh, that's right. Big Sexy. Damn, is Big Sexy still in the house?
I quit already, by the way. I leave.
You know what? The people want to hear Big Sexy.
Oh, yeah.
So, how have you guys been? How's life?
So good, Amara. We're excited to talk about this conversation. You've had so many changes in your life.
You know what? First of all, I really feel like, not for nothing, you guys may not know, but we really are a family. We get to talk consistently every single week. And as my producers, we've become not just producers, but we're friends, we're family. We come up with a lot of ideas, interesting things to communicate to you guys. And they know that I've been going through it a little bit since my first season till now. And I wanted to be able to share a couple of things. So I will say this much. Amara La Negra has definitely evolved from the last time you guys spoke to me. Things have changed as a person, in my career, as a daughter. En todos los aspectos, la vida me ha cambiado. Otras cosas have been stressful because that's part of life. Pero when you're growing, you're going to have those growing pains, and then that's part of it. Hey, listen, I'm just glad that I'm able to be back in Exactly Amara with you guys.
I'm super excited to have you back on, and I have a ton of crap that I want to ask you, Amara, because you've been gone.
Really?
The people want to know things, and I'm the one who's going to be asking, along with Arlene, by the way. Arlene has some good stuff that she's going to ask. So I want to start with this. How have you been? What's life been like so far since you left us at the end of season 1?
A bitch is tired, okay? A bitch is tired. Listen, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I have a new respect for mothers. I never really understood because, you know, una cosa es lo que tú ves. One thing is what you see. Another one is when you experience it yourself. Mothers really go through it, you know? Not only the postpartum part of it, the late nights and still trying to be an entrepreneur and still now trying to get back into my music finally, which I started going into the studio and filming 2 different TV shows at the same time, working on my daughter's clothing line, which is Las Royal Twins, but they have the Royalty Empress collection now coming out soon. And I am currently here in the Dominican Republic working on new investments. I literally sold a couple of apartments, bought some new ones, preparing them for Airbnb, doing more investments. I mean, I have a lot on my plate, and sometimes I myself don't know how I make it happen.
Amara, wait. You have so much going on, Amara.
Yeah.
How in the heck are you handling it all? Did you struggle with postpartum after you had the little ones?
Funny enough, something I never really had made public like that. But once I had my daughters, it took me like about a month to realize that they were my daughters, that they belonged to me. It was just hard for me. That even when I was in the hospital, I would look at them like, oh, they're so cute. Okay, here, have them back. Because in your mind, I hadn't processed 100% that now I'm a mother, not of one, but there's 2 of them. Not to mention that my babies don't really look like me. And then when they were born, obviously most babies are very, fair. So my babies were like really light skinned, don't look like me. There's not 1, there's 2. And I'm like, I'm Amara La Negra. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it was like a shocker in my brain, in my mind to like process. So the truth of the matter is having to go through this process without the father of my daughters did make it a little bit, harder for me. Because in my mind, I think I had like this fantasy, this image, this visual of what I wanted my family to look like, to be how I expected things to turn out. And they didn't turn out to be that way. So that did put some more depression on top of everything. And at the same time, I literally gave birth. And while I was in the hospital, I was doing promotions for social media. And I literally went back to work. Like a week after I gave birth, I went back to work. I put on a faja and dale, let's go work. And 2 weeks after giving birth, I was already traveling. It's been hard. No ha sido fácil. I'm not gonna lie. Social media makes it look really nice. It's been really hard for me because I am the breadwinner of my household and I support and I have all the weight of everybody on my shoulders. So, it's life. Hay gente que le toca fácil, hay gente que le toca más difícil, and then that just builds your character.
Are you feeling that kind of the pressure that you're talking about to try and balance all these different parts of your life, the motherhood, the babies, and then becoming an entrepreneur and knowing, like you mentioned, that you are the breadwinner? Are those some of the pressures that you think you're going through right now?
Yeah, for sure, mommy. Most definitely. I feel the pressure all the time. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like a bad mother, even though that I am with my daughters as much as I can. I'm so grateful that I have my mother. Shout out to all those amazing grandmothers that help their daughters or their or they help their sons to raise their granddaughters and grandsons and all that stuff. Thank you so much for being so amazing and so supportive, because I don't know what I would do without my mother's support. And the only reason why I say that I feel like a bad mother sometimes is because I have to work and I wish that I could be with them all the time. And sometimes I'm so exhausted of waking up tantas veces en la noche, like, a couple of times at night. I'll end up sleeping in the couch and my mom takes all the weight for me. She knows, and my daughters will eventually understand and know that, I'm doing this for the better of them.
Yeah, I agree. And, there's something that you just mentioned. You should never feel bad about working. You should feel bad if you weren't doing anything to advance yourself and your children, because everything that you do and the hard work that you're putting in is so that you're able to afford the things that they'll need. And this goes to any parent out there at any level, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to be making millions. If you're making an effort to create a better lifestyle for your kids and for yourself, and being able to produce, a lifestyle that you can live off, you know what I'm saying? Because there's the other flip side of the coin, Amara, where parents don't give a crap about their children, and the first thing they do is drop them off at grandma's and do their thing.
Oh my God, no, I can't. I've done it to the point that my mom's been like, "Tú tienes que salir, go out. Tú eres una muchacha joven. Like, don't think that just being a mom means that you're going to be stuck here. Sal." Ella me dice, "Cuídate, take care of yourself, take care of your body, maquíllate, ponte sexy." She'll be the one to take me like these sexy pictures I'll post on social media. That's all my mom's idea.
The thirst traps are her mom's ideas, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put it out there right now that we now need thirst traps.
Yes.
De mami.
De mami, because mami is like, una, tú eres una muchacha joven. Dos, tú estás soltera. Eventually you're going to have to, continue with your life and find someone, y tampoco tú te vas a chochar y te vas a poner vieja
You're
aquí.
right.
So she'll be like, dale, sal, I'm going to take care of the babies. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'll feel a little bit bad. And then I have to remember, God has blessed me with being able to have my mother. I am out here working. I definitely shouldn't, and no mother should lose themselves in the journey, in the process of being a mother, because you still are your own person. And, I'm just still learning because it's only been a couple of months. This is still a learning and growing experience for me.
I remember a couple years back, everywhere, you went online or you read on social media, it was like hustle, 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 the big hustle and girl boss. And there was this whole energy about being a girl boss. Since the pandemic and in the last couple of years, there's been this other movement about the girl you need a rest movement. the rest, like how do we like change our mentality, keeping the hustle alive, but allowing ourselves to find moments of rest? How are you balancing that, Amara?
Niña, I'm going to be honest because I'm going to be exactly Amara. And the truth is, I'm not resting well. And by the way, I've lost so much weight. Like, I've lost so much weight. Me he puesto súper, súper flaca, todos los huesos, lo tengo afuera and stuff because of the stress and of the pressure. But honestly, I do think mental health is extremely important. I think that having some time for yourself is important. And when I have time for myself, my time for myself may be like, when the girls at nighttime usually, and not even tonight because ella se levanta con la hora que le dé la gana, but I'll take a glass of wine, or I'll just, I don't know how, that's another thing I think I need another show for, because I don't know how to decompress. But I also think that comes from having an immigrant mother. From when you come from an immigrant family where they're like, you're here in a place where you have opportunities and you can do this. When you're not doing something, it almost makes you also feel guilty of like, damn, I have all these opportunities. Y estoy aquí comiendo mierda, doing nothing with my life. So no matter what I do, I always feel like, damn, you really could do more, So I'm consistently always working and putting a lot of things on my plate, which does make it very stressful. And now being a mother of two makes it even more stressful. I think that I'm sacrificing my youth now to be able to live later on in luxury, to be able to live in peace, to actually live life. I think that right now I'm creating that platform, which seems very hard. But I think that that would be my biggest advice also para las mujeres jóvenes, the young guys out there too. I know that you want to party and you want to have a good time and all that good stuff. I get it. Trust me, I do. But while you're hustle your ass out, work as hard as you can, come up with as many business. Even if you fail, this is your time to start a business, fail, start another one, fail, start another one, fail. So that later on, when you hit your parents' age, you could be like, damn, I did all that, but now I can, chill. And I think that I'm in that stage right now where I'm building my empire so that later on I can just, live my life the way that I really want to. So it's hard to balance it out. I'm not even going to lie. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's a lie.
Is the lifestyle for you a mix, a hybrid of the hustle culture mixed with mommyhood?
I want to be able to balance both of those things out. But I will say that being a parent now, like if I didn't understand it before, guys, listen to me. Because sometimes I know that we think that we know, but es mentira. Yo, once you become a parent, the shit is real. Everything you think about is your kids first. You think about your kids like, is this going to be damaging? How are they going to look at me? I have to make time for them first. You always think about your kids first, and it is very true. I think that my kids also brought the extra hustler out of me because now I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about creating, a legacy, creating an empire, creating all these things for them as well, creating generational wealth for them as well. And it's not just about me. Before, my gasoline and my inspiration, it was always my mother. My mom still is that, but my daughters have become that bigger source of dale que tú puedes, vamos para arriba. And when I'm tired, dale que they need you. So being able to work really hard to create those things so that later on I can actually have time to enjoy with them really is what was bringing out that side of me. And even before I had kids, I was always preparing the nest for when they came at some point in life. Because I always knew, all this hard work that I'm doing, what's the point of it if you don't have anybody else to leave it to, right? Like, what are you going to do with all this money? Who's going to keep it? Money, properties, clothes, toda la mierda que tú tienes. Who do you leave that to? You leave it to your kids. Pero before you just leave it to your kids, you also have to teach them the things that I unfortunately learned later on in life. My mom wasn't able to teach me about financial wealth. How to administrate money, businesses or taxes or IRS or anything. None of esa mierda. My mom never knew none of those things. So I'm the one teaching her, and now I want to be able to teach them at an early age so that they can be prepared. So it's all a domino effect.
Talking about that, not learning and having to pretty much be self-taught, right? On what you're doing. I want to bring it back real quick to when you left us and you were about to have these kids, because what advice or what did you get from your mother or people around you, when you were about to give birth? What was that experience like? Like, did they give you meds when you were there? Like, what was going on? Because we always talk about like trying to learn things at a later time because we weren't taught certain things.
Right.
And that's really big in the Hispanic culture, right? So how was it for you?
Niño, ¿no? Oye esa vaina de que breathing techniques. Niña, abre ahí, empuja, olvídate de eso. It has to come out.
Wow.
But I'll tell you this, mira. I remember my mom, since I was a little girl, she raised me, and I'm going to raise my daughters doing the same. She would always tell me when things were hard, she would be like, óyeme, machito, snap out of it. Dale, machito. Dale, que el dolor se hizo para la gente. So my mom was very raw with me. She didn't como que, no me añoñó, ñiqui. No, she was just like, óyeme, the same way you got it in, you got to get it out. Ya. Eso de que tanta ñoñería ni nada. My mom is very like tough on me. So she was basically like that when I was in the hospital. What did make it different was I wasn't sure that the father of my children was going to be there because we had already gone through so many, personal issues and that wasn't going to happen. So when he actually did come, because of COVID, a lot of the things, got restricted inside the hospital. And I could only have one person. And I really wanted to have my mother and him in the hospital at that moment. I had to choose, and I chose him because I wanted him to be able to see that moment. That was different for me as well. At that specific moment, I will give credit. At that specific moment when I was delivering, he was very supportive. He was supportive, because I was nervous. I was shaking. They did give me epidural. entre los nervios, right? One is my first time. 2, I got epidural, and also epidural makes you like shake a little bit. And 3, I was nervous as hell. It was cold. It was freaking cold inside that hospital. Yo tenía un maldito frío. I have videos of everything. I have videos which you're not supposed to record when they cut and they took the babies out. My babies were literally 30 seconds apart. And literalmente salió una, and then the other one had her foot out. One was in posición to come out, and then the other one was breached. For those that don't know what breached means that she was sitting down. Her head was up, and her booty and her legs were tucked in. So literally, she came out through her feet. You know, being able to also visually see that, you know, it was amazing. When my daughters, me la presentaron, I was just like, oh my God, you're so cute. But it was still like, dude, did this just come out of me? Like, what is this? Like, in my mind, it wasn't like in the movies, like, oh my God, my baby. It was not like that for me. It was just like, oh, look at the baby. What is this? Like, did I just have kids? It's me. It was like a shock factor of like, yo no estoy procesando qué está pasando ahora mismo. 2 days before I gave birth, they had me on really high, strict steroids because my babies were born premature para poder build their lungs up and things like that. Like, the process of giving birth, it's so much more than what people may just think. And you definitely have to give credit to women for the way that their bodies are built. The doctors also, if you have an amazing doctor, shout outs to them and the nurses and everybody that was there taking care of me during this process. That's just what it was. The epidural was the best thing that had ever happened to my life. I didn't feel shit. I didn't feel nothing. Niña, I was acostada ahí and the doctor was like, yo, do you feel this? Do you feel that?
Really?
And I was like, no, I feel a little bit. No, I feel a little bit. And then they're like, do you feel this? I'm like, no. Next thing I know, when I looked up, my legs were wiggling from one side to the other. I didn't even know I had legs. That shit was fantastic.
You mentioned that your mom didn't acariciarte y que no era muy like, has she changed that for the little ones now? Is she like that?
No, mi amor. No, mi amor. That was for me. I think that my mom always raised me to be very tough because she understood that as a woman, y de paso, a woman that didn't have any siblings or a father figure or any male figure there to support me or back me up, you have to build a certain character, a certain demeanor, you know? No puedes ser muy blandita, tienes que ser fuerte. And I know that in some occasions she's told me, I only did it because I need you to be strong, you know? I really wanted to be como suavecita contigo, but if I do that, then, you know, you wouldn't be the woman that you are today. So I saw her being that way when I was giving birth. However, with my daughters, mi amor, es una ñoñería, nicky all day. And she's in love.
That's what grandparents do when they have grandchildren, just to let you know that.
She is in love.
They treated us like crap.
Yeah, dead ass. But she is in love. And you know what? I also saw that my daughters have also given my mother life.
Oh,
I see her with a different glow. I see
That's
her
great.
con más ánimo de vivir. I see her más preocupada por su salud. Like, I see her wanting to live. And it's not that she doesn't want to live for me, but she cares more to live for them.
no.
So it's definitely been a beautiful bonding experience for all 4 of us.
Talking about balancing the motherhood and the hustle of your life right now, Amara. What are you doing to keep yourself this motivated? Because listen, you are waking up in the middle of the night to feed these kids. You are having to deal with their every ache and pain, you know, love them and everything. And Arlene, throw yourself in here. I know that I drink massive amounts of cafe during the day, and I try to work out on my Peloton. So Arlene, throw yourself in here. What do you do to stay? Because I want to hear from Amara afterwards. Like, what the heck are you doing to keep yourself so crazy and
I mean,
upbeat?
I was just told by a doctor that I needed to cut back on my coffee and only do 1 cup a day. So I don't know how I'm gonna.
Oh wow!
How I'm gonna do it, and I'm shocked that Amara's juggling so much.
Tell us the secret. What is the secret?
I think that my biggest motivation is the fact that I'm very driven. I'm very driven. I want to make sure to leave a legacy. I want to make sure to live my life to its fullest potential. And I don't know. I'm afraid. Like, I've always said this before, but I'm afraid of dying and not being remembered. Like, I have to be remembered for doing something great. I don't want to be just one more person in this planet. So, you know, I am going to continue with my activism for the Afro-Latino community. I am going to continue doing TV, music, radio, everything that I can think of, businesses as an entrepreneur. I'm going to continue to inspire and motivate other women, because even if I'm able to do that, they will continue to speak of my name for years to come. I want to be the best mother I can be and raise the best children that I can, so that they can continue my legacy. They can continue to represent me. And I just want to live life. I'm so hungry for life. Like, I really want to be here, you know? And this is going to sound crazy, because if tomorrow I'm not, I want y'all to be able to hear this, but I really want to be here. I want to live. And the only way you can do that is by pushing yourself to do things that you would think you couldn't, you know, what's quote unquote impossible. Even you guys saying that seems crazy makes me feel like, even if I'm con más razón, I want to be able to do it, you know? If you do basic stuff, then you'll just be one more. And I just don't want to be that person. So I have to push myself to the core, even if it means I'm going to be tired, exhausted. People that are successful in life, people that have made it big, the people that we admire and look up to, what do you think? That they're not tired? You think that they have regular lives, that they just go to the movies and have drinks at the bar and just live life? No, you're able to do that maybe one day. You know, you may be able to take a certain amount of time off to do that, but how much more of their life haven't they had to sacrifice to be able to get to that lifestyle? I finally understood it, and that's why I'm going so hard right now.
Well, you're doing a hell of a job, Amara. I respect it. You're doing a hell of a job.
Ay, mija, mira, talking about that, I quiero un cafecito. Oh my God. Oh, little Red Bull. Haven't anybody come up with coffee and Red Bull? That must be so bad.
No. Oh my God. That's called an inflammable problem right there. Heartburn, everything all included.
No, but definitely, you know, I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the one thing I do need the most is time to sleep. I almost feel like if I had more time to sleep, and I'll say this too, it's important to learn how to delegate other things. And I also want to put it out there, when you feel that things are impossible, also remember that we have the internet. You know, the internet has made life so much easier for a lot of people, only because you can start an online business. I know it seems hard, but you can start an online business. You can do so many other things where you don't just have to have a regular job. You can also figure out how to make other sources of income through, you know, your laptop or something. It's just about how bad do you want it. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. Anything. Mira, and another thing that I want to put out there too, never feel so prideful or tan orgulloso that you can't go, you know, humble yourself into having another regular job. Even if it means you have to have a part-time at the McDonald's, at the Burger King, at the Walmart, if you have to sell oranges and water outside on the weekends, whatever the case may be, don't be so prideful to feel that you can't do that. Because if you're doing it with a vision, with a purpose, with a goal, that's all that you should be focused on. And right now, that's what I'm doing. A lot of people are like, oh, why are you selling this? Or why are you selling? That's none of your business. I have a vision, I have a goal, and I know what I'm doing. And this may be a little sacrifice for right now, but the long term is going to be so good. So definitely think about that. With that being said, listen, I don't want to bore you to death. And I hope that this has been, you know, a little refreshing, just because you guys haven't really, you know, heard about what's been happening in my life recently. So I just wanted to put you guys up to date. And to be honest, here's what I want you guys to take home. Besides living your life and doing all the things that you want, yes, live, enjoy. You're young. And if you're not young, you're still young because you're alive and you're still here. And as long as you're here on this planet, you can still make your dreams come true. However, never let your pride get in the way of your dreams, goals, and stay focused. If that means that you have to humble yourself into doing a job that you would never do, whether it is cleaning houses, taking out trash, cutting grass, I don't know, washing cars, working at whatever fast food place in the meantime, just because you want to accomplish a goal, stay focused on the mission. Complete the mission by all means necessary. And yes, you will be tired, you will be exhausted, but remember what your goal and your purpose is. Go out there, take risks, do what seems impossible, go out there and do it. Who cares what anybody else has to say? As long as you see that vision, that's all that you have to be worried about. So take that with you. I know it's gonna be tiring right now, but later on, you're gonna be so grateful that you sacrificed your youth so that you could live life in luxury later on in life. So with that being said, Arlene, thank you so much. Big Sexy, as usual. Thank you for having my back, for always being here with me. I missed you guys so much. We have so much more to talk about. Thank you guys for listening again to Exactly Amara. Oh my God, finally season 2. We're back. This is so great. Find me on all the social media platforms at Exactly Amara, or you can also check me out at Amara La Negra ALN, and to our YouTube channel where you will be able to watch us every week by searching Exactly Amara. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.